I gave you fair warning, beware, beware, beware. I gave you fair warning, beware, beware.
Welcome back to Unapologetically Candid. It's your man Damon. This week we have a special guest, Lacy Clemons, who is a fashion designer of the urban variety.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
How you doing today, love?
I'm good, babe. How are you?
I'm doing well. So tell the people about yourself. Where are you from?
I say I'm from the city. I grew up in the city, and Atlanta's just home to me, but I reside on the south side.
Oh, yeah?
But I don't know. I just started dabbling in creative adventures downtown, and now I feel like I'm working on a journey. Like,
Yeah?
I started going to Georgia State, and I always kind of want to work like in the music industry, but like I don't make music. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I started dabbling in like the creative side of it, and I don't know. Now we're just doing crazy things. I've done a little bit of photography. I wouldn't say I'm necessarily like a photographer, but printmaking, lots of graphic design, screen printing. Now I'm dabbling with fabrics and fashion. I just recently started that within like the past 6 months. I did a little bit of work like for Ray Shrimmin, a friend of mine, like worked on his tour, and I dyed out like personal pieces for them. I did album work cover for Post Malone's manager, Alex Strassmore, for an artist they're pushing right now named Watson, and that got like crazy views. That's like, it's almost at 200,000 on SoundCloud right now.
That's what's up.
So that's kind of crazy. So I'm just kind of dabbling in everything. Right now I work for Reject Society and Soul God Big Chico. So I'm merchandising and branding them along with branding myself.
Oh, okay. So they're more what, like trap music?
I feel like Soul God Big Chico, he's more like old school, like Outkast like. And then Ree's really nice. It's Ree the Imperial. His brand is Reject Society. You could dabble with him and throw him on any track and he'll kill it. He's very well-rounded. Chico is too, but it's kind of like comparing oranges and apples. You know what I mean? Everybody's on their same vibe, but it kind of works because we're all meshing together really well.
It's like a Kendrick and a Young Thug kind of thing.
Sort of, yeah. Like, I mean, I wouldn't say necessarily trap, but I feel like in Atlanta, like, really what isn't trap anymore? You know what I mean? Like, trap is Atlanta. No matter which way you look at, like, hip-hop, that is Atlanta.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely an imprint of it.
Oh, absolutely.
Down to hell, even TV shows now.
Absolutely.
So you love the culture and the hip-hop culture.
I do. I feel like it's because growing up, all my friends were, like, in bands and music, and so I did everything for them, like, managing, following them around, blah, 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 blah. And so I don't know, like, the metal scene, like, I'll always be a little metal kid at, like, heart, because that's what I grew up on.
Fuck
but,
that shit.
no, but it's all good. But then it's just, like, hip-hop, I feel like it's just so positive. Like, I've never went to a hip-hop show and, like, not had fun.
Yeah.
Everybody's on, like, a good vibe.
Yeah,
it's
I've
all
totally
love.
been to a metal show and not had fun. What's that bar in EAV, 529?
Yeah, I've been in there a couple times.
Yeah, first time I went in there, my friends dragged me out there. Some random dude just walked up and just pushed me in my chest.
What?
So it was like mid-lunge about to go after him and they had to stop me and explain to me. It's like, oh, this ain't for me.
Yeah, no, I feel you.
I'd rather go to a hip-hop show where I might get shot.
Yeah, right, because that feels safer.
So when's the first time you fell in love with hip-hop?
Ooh, I don't know. I've always had love for it. I feel like going to college, you learn about yourself. Like, all that academic stuff, like that bullshit, like, it's cool, but, like, really it's about finding yourself, and everything I did school-wise, it was related back to music, and I just kind of used hip-hop as, like, I guess, like, an outlet, you know what I mean? Like
a catalyst.
Exactly, and it opened up crazy doors. Like, I did these printmaking, like, I feel like what I'm kind of notorious for now, and, like, people know me for, is, like, I run these prints, and it's kind of just, like, pictures of people, and I run gold in them. Like, I'll put gold in the grill and the chains, blah, 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 and it kind of blew up. And so I did some of, like, Post Malone, and I was, like, determined to get it to him, like, determined. And so when his manager hit me up and was like, yo, do you want to do a cover for somebody I have, or an artist I'm about to push? I was like, absolutely. Like, screaming on the inside, like, what is going on? This is crazy. So that opened up, I feel like, a lot of doors. And it was just cool. Like, I never, like, I met them, but, like, essentially when it was happening, we were just on the phone call, or like on a phone call from somebody from California. Like, you know
Right.
what I mean? He didn't know what he was going to get, and I didn't know what he was going to get, but it was all love. Like, it turned out really, really well. And then, like, later I ended up, like, dying the stuff out for Ray Shremmen, and it was just, I don't know, it was just something cool to do.
So it's a good progression.
Exactly. It helped. I don't know. It made me feel like I could keep doing it. You know what I mean? Like, it pushed me. Like, okay, if I can do this, if I can get my stuff to Post Malone, then I can do whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was just that one plateau, and it was like, boom. And so I met Ree, and I started working with Reject Society, but then I met Chico, and I ended up using, like, my final project as his whole plan.
Yeah.
For, like,
back it up. So how'd you meet Ree?
Ree, okay, a good friend of ours named Milestone, I met him, and he got me on a show at a department store. And when I walked in, like, I met a bunch of people. They were all really cool. But, like, Ree was like, oh, my God. Like, I brought my portfolio. He was like, what is this? This is so dope. And, like, we just exchanged numbers. And it was just...
All love.
All love. Like, I fell in love with, like, Reject Society. And he pushed my stuff. So it was just, like, a mutual thing. And so here we are now, like, planning... you know, where are we going to push next? And so it's just, I feel like the biggest thing in this, like, the creative scene in Atlanta is, like, supporting each other. You know what I mean? Like, he pushed me, I pushed him, and it's
about building the whole city up.
Exactly. And, like, that was, like, it was the same love with Chico, because Chico was like, you know, we need to do some merch, because I started dying stuff out, and I actually did, like, my whole final project was 30 shirts, hand printed, hand dyed, and then we went through, like, buckhead thread to get them embroidered because I don't have an embroidery machine. And, like, that ended up being, like, right before I graduated, my whole final project. We just, like, lit that on fire for, like, a 420 show, and it was dope.
Yeah?
It was super dope. It was, like, it
gotta like, be for a 420 show.
Yeah, no, it was a big show. It was dope. It was, I don't know, but I feel like also, like, when you're creating stuff for people, because I feel like one thing I am notorious for is, like, I can replicate things, but when I like to replicate things, I like things everything is still an original. Like, everything's still one of one. Like, you might have a little bit more yellow in the middle than the next one, but each one, it's the same, but it's your own.
You put your own unique twist on
exactly.
each one. I got what you're saying.
Exactly, and that's what I like about it, because, like, now after I've created all of these, even, like, I started working on, like, my little Bad and Bougie line, they're, like, even though they're shirts, they're, like, my children. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this whole project's, like, my baby. Like, oh, my gosh, what are people going to think? Because when people get up on stage and perform, like, yeah, people are going to judge you and critique you. But sometimes when you mess up, only you and your DJ and whoever else knows you mess up.
I would prefer people critique me at things I do so I can always hone and refine my skills.
Absolutely. But here you're, like, presenting a good. So it's, like, either you're going to bite or you're not going to have it at all. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it's... Oh, gosh, I just stress out. I freak out.
Do you?
I do.
Do you get like a lot of anxiety since you're doing this independently, right? You don't have
Correct.
any backers or anything like that?
It's all out of my own pocket.
How much weed do you have to smoke in order to feel good to go to sleep at night?
I don't know. Like, I guess a lot. I don't know. It's stressful, but it's a good stress.
Yeah. So what are some of the like difficulties and stressors that come about creating your own clothing and getting it out there and promoting it?
It's all trial and error. I mean, I plan things out the best I can, but at the end of the day, I feel like that's how I learned all through school. That's how I started getting into this, because I was like, you have to find a way to make this work. Whereas, like, some kids have to work on, you know, spend a week on a paper. It was like, no, I have to have this ready by 8 o'clock in the morning. It is what it is. So it was like I would sit in the studio just all night thinking and planning. But you also have to plan for failure. But at the same time, if you don't fail at some things in life, you don't learn.
Exactly.
And
then when you do eventually fail...
Exactly.
You're not gonna know how to
Exactly.
deal with it.
And, like, in the beginning of, like, planning, it doesn't matter what it is. Like, I took a graphic design class, and I never touched Photoshop, never touched nothing. I was like, how to use the paintbrush? Like, I didn't know.
What's crop?
Exactly. What's crop? What do you do? And so I ended up, like, I felt like in the beginning I was, like, not doing well, but in the end I did, like, these really cool, like, badass, like, crooks and castles. Like, we had to do, like, advertisement, like, a poster and shit like that. And, like, at the end of that class, I just kind of, like, walked out, like, not being big-headed, but, like, confident. Like, fuck with me.
Like
Try me.
you put yourself out there and you succeeded at what you tried.
Exactly. And I feel like after that, it was like, even if I fail, I know what I'm capable of. I know what I can do. I know what I can't do. But I feel like I never really gave up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
Like
mean, it was a lot because, like, especially dealing with fabric, because fabric's cool, but, like, paper is, you know, you can erase something on paper. Paper's cheap.
Mm-hmm.
But when you fuck up fabric, dude, a yard of fabric's already like $7.99. And, like,
really
I'm
feel that
funding this
shit.
myself. Like, that's why I feel like it's so important that, like, all my friends, they're doing things like, I know a lot of people don't have money, but invest in yourself and invest in your friends, because this stuff is hard. This stuff is expensive.
Especially if you're doing it from an independent level, but it's a lot more rewarding. I feel like because you have full ownership.
It's
of
like,
it.
and it's like I did it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, nobody else has done this. I did this.
Right, like you didn't have to go seek help and get like parents and all that to back you and all that.
I mean, granted, like, I was very fortunate. My mom worked, like, hard, like, on her feet. My mom's old. Like, she paid for my college education, all of that. And she, like, you didn't have to pay for books. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, very rarely, but all of my money that I was making from, like, my little side jobs and stuff like that, all of that would go into, like, these projects. So it's like, sometimes I feel like people get, like, a little upset when they're like, dang, I don't want to pay $30 for a shirt. But it's like, do you know how much work went into it? Like, it's, I don't know. I just want everything to be authentic and original and one of one.
So, what's your creative process when you, like, for me, like, I'm a screenwriter, so if I'm going to start a new script, usually I'll isolate myself, be in the dark, at my bar in my basement, maybe put on some jazz or something like that, and have a drink or, like, 5, and then, until something comes out.
No, I feel like mine's kind of the same. It always kind of starts on paper, because it's like I have to plan it out. Like, right now I'm working on I've been working on my own website, but, like, I'm working on somebody else's website as well. So it's like a matter of just, like, planning it out and trying to figure out what works. But then again, I feel like I get so excited to do things. It's like, sometimes I'm like, screw the piece of paper. I just, like, let me just get in and do it.
Like a dog with a shiny red ball. Just
Kind of, sort of. Like, you don't know what you're capable of until you get in there and do it.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, planning it's cool, but you also, I don't know. I feel like I work best at night. Like, I stay up really late. I'm on, like, the worst schedule in the world. But, like, just planning, because that's when I just start coming up with ideas, and I just, like, write them down. All right, this would be cool. Or, like, you know, this would be dope for Reject Society, or we could do this for Soul God, blah, 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 blah.
So you, like, take notes on your phone or something like that?
Absolutely. Notes on my phone.
You ever feel like if somebody, like, got a hold of your phone and read through it, you would look like a crazy person?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's the rule. Like, I don't care who you are. Nobody goes through phones. Like, you just never, you never know what you're going to get when you go through a phone.
Like, damn a dick pic. I just don't want you to read all my movie
I
ideas.
just don't need you to take my ideas. Like, yeah, and I think a lot of it is also, like, whenever I come up with things, like, I have to research it too. Like, whether it's planning, like, how to do a design or what works, it's like I go through and I look at other people's websites or other people's fashion or, like, other people's hats, blah, 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 blah.
So who are some of your influences?
Influences?
Uh-huh.
I feel like a lot of my influences were, like, probably my school teachers. But then I also sit back and look at, like, people like Chilio and stuff like that, where it's just, like, it's just influencing Atlanta and, like, doing it for, like, the culture and, like, giving back to people and, like, looking around. But obviously, like, I do look at, like, Andy Warhol and all that kind of stuff with, like, the screen printing, because that's what was cool about him, is everything he did was an original. Everything was a one-of-one. Like, you could replicate it, but it doesn't mean it's going to turn out exactly the same.
Exactly.
And that's, like, essentially what a lot of, like, the printmaking I do is same with screen printing. It's like, shirts aside, but, like, when you're running it on paper, it doesn't mean everyone's going to be the same.
Right, something might happen.
Exactly. It's like, I went to one of his, like, the gig he has going on at the High, and it was just, like, I don't know, it was very influencing, because I, like, went home and I was like, oh my gosh, I want to make all this crazy stuff. And, like, it goes back to everything being original, like, one of one. So if you ever get anything of mine, that's the only one. There might be a couple around here, but the one you have that's the only one like that.
That's fantastic, because most people won't even care to put that kind of thought and detail into something like that. especially for it just to be one of one.
Yeah. No, well, that was kind of like what I learned when I started like doing printmaking was like
So what made you do that though? So why do you?
I took like I said, it all goes back into class, like all goes back into school, because like a lot of this stuff I didn't know what it was until I had signed up, and like I'm in this room and they're like, all right, you got to figure out how to do this in like a month.
Oh, all right. So now we're gonna have to back up then. So why'd you even take the class in the first place then?
I had a friend that was like, you need to take this class.
Oh.
You will love it. And like honestly, that was the best advice I ever did, because like I fell in love with it. I fell in love, like anytime somebody that kind of knew me and knew what I liked would say, hey, you should try this.
Mm-hmm.
I fall right into it. And like, because the printmaking led to like the fashion, and then the fashion led back into screen printing, and like so it all kind of blended together
And synergized together.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And so it, like I said, everything was I'm not at access to have like a way to necessarily replicate things right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have a spare bedroom that I use as a studio. Like I'm not in a private studio or anything like that.
Right.
So you're trying to work things out, so to speak, like make do. And so I feel like that's where the originality comes into everything.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because once you're in it and you have bigger orders, you kind of can't put that attention to detail to it in time.
Exactly. I mean, there was a little bit of talk. I have a friend that is just getting off the Ziggy Marley tour. There's a little bit of talk there about possibly doing some shirts for him, like bleaching them out. But like I said, it's just talk right now. We'll see what happens. And then I'm possibly, I might be working with Cool Club, Scotty ATL's people fairly soon.
Okay.
Because I linked up with them a long time ago and like gave them a bunch of artwork, and it was all love. Like his manager, Chevy Reeves, has done nothing but beautiful things for me. He's just always looking out. He's amazing. He's amazing. And so like I was on that trap art event, and Cool Club was up there, and I talked to their designer Joe, and I don't know, I just kind of want to dabble into anything. I want to work with everybody.
Yeah. So did you have like a passion for fashion before you started taking that class in college, or is it just something that really you like fell into? Like for me, like when I was growing up, I wanted to do music, but then when I was in college, I got offered to be in a movie, and I didn't have any experience or any interest in it whatsoever, but like I caught the bug and I love it.
That's what happened. Okay, so I feel like I've always kind of like not been like a fashionista, but I don't know, I've always kind of had my own little swag going on, I suppose, like
Yeah.
ripped up jeans, t-shirt, like I don't know, I'm an artist, like I stay dirty, my hands stay dirty, you know what I mean? Like I can wear heels and a dress. I really can dress like super girly, but I've always been a little tomboyish. So I've always been into like t-shirt designs. I've always been into like album cover type looks and stuff like that. And I took this textiles class, and I started dyeing things and sewing things and putting things together. And then I was like, I want to make something. Like I want to do something. And then that's when we fell into like the Soul God. Like that was the first big round, was the 30 Soul God shirts.
Okay.
So I don't know. It was just, once you get into it and you realize how it works, it's very hard, it's very tedious, but once you realize that you can put almost anything on anything, that's the addiction right there.
Yeah.
Once you can if you can just put a logo, like your own, just something that's your own little taste on something, that little imprint, that's what makes the difference.
Okay. So you were speaking about progression. So for you, what's the next step? When now that you have like Soul God and Reject, and you got maybe possibly the Ziggy Marley tour going on, what's your next goal as far as accomplishment?
I just want to be better. Like, I feel like the progression never ends. Like, same with your screenwriting. Like, or you send me logos and stuff on Snapchat all the time. You know what I mean? It's like, it's cool whenever you see like, oh, this is tight. Like I did good here, but then your next one, it's like it just gets better.
Right. Like you keep pushing yourself.
Exactly. You push your limits.
Yourself.
And I feel like the feedback from people is what makes the difference there.
But see, that can, in my opinion, build anxiety in and of itself too. Because how do you top the thing that people loved and raved about? Is like, if you see my next thing,
that's touche.
Will that
Good
fall
point.
off?
Good point. I don't know. I feel like I'm still in that learning curve.
Yeah. So like you're still in like phase one of just.
Yeah, cause like okay, so we did the Soul God shirts, and that was a big hit. And I did the Bad and Bougie shirts, that was a big hit, but I feel like there's still a learning curve there, because it's like, not everybody's going to wear, like, a pink Bad and Bougie shirt with gold print on it.
I
like,
damn sure wearing one of those.
Exactly. Like, I mean, it is what it is, but it's still a trial and error, because you never know what audience you're going to attract. It's same with going to an art show. Like,
true.
Here, like,
Sure.
okay, I have stuff that I could probably put $300 or $400 price tag on, but it doesn't mean that pocket's going to walk in the door.
Exactly.
So it's a hit or miss every time. So either am I pricing too high, or am I not attracting the right audience? You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's...
Once you find your demo
and like, I
your
feel like
value.
the fashion stuff is really dope. Like, what I'm getting to is really, really cool, but I feel like people that are into what I'm doing and like what I'm doing, they all go back to the printmaking. They all go back to, which, I mean, I brought some with me, but they all go back to the screen prints with the gold and all that. And I feel like people are like, oh my gosh, like, how do you do this? What is this? And it's science, dude. At the end of the day, like, it's just science. Like, at one point we were dropping shit in acid. Like, it was crazy.
See,
like,
you call it science, but see, I call it art.
Oh, it is art. It absolutely is art. But getting to it is science. Like, yes, because it's like we were like carving into these metal plates and like dropping them in acid, and like
that's fucking dangerous. Why would you be playing with acid like that?
I was not hype on that by any means. I was like, yo, please, somebody come help me, blow up with me over here. Like, no, that was a little scary. But
I'll holla at you on the next shirt.
Exactly. But it was cool. It was a learning curve, because you never know. Like,
yeah, hell no. Now we're playing with acid.
Exactly. I think that's my whole thing throughout this whole thing, is like, I just didn't know what I was doing until I did it. And then when people would like bite, I was like, oh shit, like, this is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like, especially like when I got on my first little like show at department store, like, people just showed love. It was just straight love. Every time I popped up, people were like, oh shit, that's the girl that does like the crazy gold grills and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, yeah, yo, that's me.
You know, I'm that girl. That's
exactly,
what I do.
Exactly. That's what I do.
I fashion and such.
Exactly.
So let me ask you this. Do you eventually want to be, like, put into stores, like, even, like, department stores and all that? Really? Or would you rather go the direct-to-consumer e-commerce route? Commerce.
I mean, I think in time I would like to be in stores.
Yeah?
Like, I think it's...
Why?
I don't know. Like, I feel like, let's look at Tommy Hilfiger. Like, way back when Tommy was, like, dope, super dope.
When
and then I feel like...
Black people fucked with him?
Huh?
That's when black people fucked with him?
I mean, I feel like everybody fucked with him. But, like, I feel like it kind of blew off a little bit, but now it's coming back.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's one of those things, no matter what you create, you're going to hit that wave. And if you can keep up with that wave, that's great. But if not, everything just circles.
Yeah, but I mean, that's more of a cyclical thing, because fashion is a cyclical thing.
Absolutely.
So you got like the 90s and all that coming back, because that's when he was like popping.
Yeah.
Like, with the Tommy Hilfiger windbreaker that I used to have.
Oh my gosh, I had an aunt, and all she would wear was like Tommy Hilfiger.
Dude, I used to have a Game Boy Color that had Tommy Hilfiger on it.
Are you for real?
I'm dead ass.
You still have that thing?
Somewhere. I don't know where.
Yo, you should try and sell that. Put that bitch on eBay.
Probably. Give
Absolutely.
me some AA batteries and shit.
Somebody will buy it. Somebody's looking for it.
Somebody is.
But yeah, I want to get into anything. I think my biggest thing right now is like I mean, I work at Starbucks, and like I'm doing this little coffee thing or whatever, but it's nice because it still gives me free time now that I'm done with school, so I can work on whatever I want to work on. So I'm constantly reaching out to people and brands, trying to collab, trying to push my limits. And you know, if I got a phone call tomorrow and somebody from New York was like, listen, we like what you're doing, we need you up here, I'm on the first flight out.
Okay. So it seems like you do a lot of collabing with people who are already like have their own thing going, but do you eventually want to develop your own brand?
Yeah, that's definitely where Bad and Bougie's coming from. So I obviously used Migos, because Migos did that song, and it's still not going anywhere. Released that in November.
Shit crossed over. White people love it. That shit is gonna be staying there at least 20 weeks.
Oh my gosh, like I feel like it's never gonna go away. But yeah, I started using like my little dog, because like people that have like, I got this little French bulldog. I flew out to Texas and got her, and when I got her, I didn't realize like they were like a thing. And I fell in love with her, and so she's like my little logo, and so I gave her like the little face tattoo and ran the Bad and Bougie under it, but she's kind of the beginning. Not saying I'm going to keep the Bad and Bougie under it forever, but like she's kind of the beginning to just kind of see what outlet I can push with it.
Oh, she's like your bad boy logo.
Yeah, that's my little girl. Like that's my homie. She's ride or die with me. Like anybody knows me, I love my dog. I pick my dog over everybody. But at the same time, it was just nice because I feel like coming up with a logo that like people really like is kind of it's kind of hard.
That could be polarizing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But I mean, this is kind of the beginning because like I ran them on the screens, I ran a few shirts, and now I'm wanting to do some like long sleeves with like the pocket. It's a little bit smaller for the winter time, and
maybe get a hoodies and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, hoodies, more dye work, especially like people. I mean, tie dye is not necessarily my favorite thing to do.
Yeah, it looks dope.
Well, thank you. I mean, it's not. It wasn't like, oh my gosh. I feel like essentially anybody can tie dye a shirt. But I started getting into like the ice dye, which was really cool because it gives everything kind of like watercolor type effects.
What's the ice dye?
Ice dye. Okay, so essentially ice dye. Like you can look it up. But
I could, but you're right in front of me.
I will explain it. Essentially, what you do is it's just like you're packing fabric under ice, and like you're just sprinkling dye on top of it. But you never know what you're gonna get. You never know. Like, and it gives like a watercolor effect. So it's like super, dude. It's so dope. It's so tight. And so like that was like one thing with Chico was like, not only do I do his shirts, but like I do his personal wear, like stylist for him as well.
You do his pajamas too?
We ain't got no Soul God pajamas yet. Thank God. But yeah, essentially, yeah. Like he wears like a 3XL, so it was like kind of hard for him to find like certain shirts. Yeah, he's a pretty big dude.
That's a big dude right there.
But so that's where it worked out kind of cool to kind of design his own stuff because sometimes it's hard to find shirts at that size.
You gotta get his shit custom.
Exactly. Bottom line, exactly. So like, he's kind of, I don't want to say my guinea pig, but like he's done a lot for me. He's helped me and I'm helping him.
Yeah, it's a
partnership. And so exactly. And so anytime I dye something out, I'm like, here, wear this, see what happens. You know what I mean? Like, see if you get hits back, see what's going on. But then the dye, like the ice dye, that took off. That was really, really cool. But then I dabbled back into the bleach. So, like, I'll take shirts and I'll, like, wrap them up, tie them up, bleach them out. And bleach is really crazy because you're on a time period. Because if we bleach that shirt you're wearing or the bleach shirt I'm wearing, if that bleach sits on that shirt for, like, more than an hour, it can start eating that shirt away.
Oh, damn.
So it's like, and it's super toxic too, because like I have a friend that was a tattoo artist, and he came down here, and he gave me all of his shirts to commission out, and that was like kind of my first trial and error with a lot of bleach, and at first they all didn't hit. Like they took, but it was something in the fabric it didn't take, and I was like, I have to fix this, but at the same time I felt like I was dying from ammonia, like the smell of it just being so...
Toxic?
Yes.
Fucking
absolutely.
dangerous?
Extremely dangerous. So, like, I feel like that's another thing that people don't really pay attention to. Some of this stuff is, like, when you're bleaching stuff out, like, there's a possibility I could go to the hospital.
Yeah. You don't want to go to the hospital
Absolutely
with one of your eyebrows completely bleached out. No. That's not a good look.
That's not cute at all. Nobody's into that. But the bleach is really cool, too.
Okay. So do you plan on eventually moving on to, like, cutting and sew?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes. I mean, I've done a little bit. I've done a little bit of it.
For school?
Yeah.
Or just
that
personal?
was, I mean, not to sound weird or anything, but like...
Oh, we're way past that. Come on.
I never even used like an iron until I went into a class. I was like, how do you use this thing? Like, so exactly.
You just walk around high school wrinkly?
Nah, I throw my stuff in the dryer first.
Oh, okay.
I do it like the lazy way.
Really time consuming. Exactly. I feel like you did not think that went through in high school.
It was the same with the sewing machine. I was like, y'all, I've never used a sewing machine before in my life, but
that shit's hard.
It's so hard. It was.
That. I had the old school ones where you got to hit the pedal.
Yeah, that's the kind of like, well, I don't think it's like necessarily old, but we have one of the ones with the pedal, so it's like you feel like you're driving a freaking race car. It's like, zzz.
Then you fuck up and
then the thing gets all tangled up, and it's like, fuck, I don't even want to deal with this shit. But you gotta learn. You have to learn. But I looked at it like this, like, you know, if the world ever ends and I need to knit a pair of socks or sew a pair of socks, I got it. I can do it.
Fuck that, I'm looting. So do you plan on staying in like the urban fashion scene, or would you want to move into a more higher end designer?
I feel like the urban fashion scene stays like it dabbles up and down.
Yeah, because it's definitely not what it used to be.
And like I've always loved street fashion. I've always loved the sneakers.
Even the
shirt.
velour suits. I ain't gonna lie, I used to own a few of velour suits.
Did you for real?
I regret that decision now.
Don't tell everybody.
There's pictures of it somewhere, I'm sure.
Trash them. Delete them. Get them off your Facebook. I don't know. I feel like the street scene's definitely where I kind of want to stay for right now. Maybe in time we'll graduate because what was it, like A$AP Rocky? Like he just pulled some, I can't remember his name, but like some designer just out of the woodworks and started like messing with him. Yeah. And so it's just like, I think that's what's so beautiful about like this culture and like this era is fashion's like everything. It's everywhere. Like it, you know, you could be wearing like just a t-shirt and then come in with a nice like tuxedo jacket or whatever, and if you pull it off right, shoes. Exactly, yeah. Like you can pull it off. It's all in your demeanor. That's what fashion is. It's not what you're wearing. It's how you carry yourself.
Right. It's that confidence.
It's that confidence that's to wear, true. And I think that's been my whole thing, my whole life. Like when I was younger, I had like crazy rock star hair or whatever, and like I know people looked at me like I was ridiculous, but it was that confidence to carry, like, and that's what fashion is, being confident.
So were you like one of the black sheep, I guess?
Oh yeah, I went to a small private school.
Oh, you did?
I went to a small private school. I was the only girl of five people. Graduating class 2008. It was, I mean, it was cool, but I'm glad it's over.
That shit sound like you was homeschooled. That's
yeah, that's what it sounds like. But I had to get up and go somewhere every day, 8 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, I was definitely a black sheep. But I feel like I turned out all right. I feel like, I mean,
now you just somewhere sitting in the studio behind a Chinese restaurant just talking about
touche. I don't know where they are.
Exactly.
And I ain't worried about them. I gotta worry about myself.
Yeah, don't pay your bills.
I feel like I've always had like I said, that weird little taste, like something. I don't know, like I said, I've always wanted to work in this industry. Yeah. And
so do you want to remain in fashion, or would you eventually want to move over into like, I don't know, music or even like costume design for like movies and sets? Preferably for an independent filmmaker who's looking for one right now.
You trying to give me a job?
Possibly. Depends on the price.
That's something I've honestly, I've thought about, but I don't know much about. So.
But then again, you didn't know much about fashion.
Exactly, but it's like you don't know until you do it. Everything seems overwhelming until you like get in there and somebody's like, okay, this is what we need. This is how you do it. But yeah, why not? What do I have to lose? Why not?
Money, time. Dignity, possibly, but it's all worth it.
But we're positive. Absolutely. You know what I mean? Like it's all about
we don't let that shit get to us.
Yeah,
we just like I always say, when I get a door closed to me, I'm kicking in another one.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it. But I feel like dabbling with fashion and definitely the graphic design and the creative director and like because I've started. I mean, I'm working on a couple more covers for my friend Ree right now. He's about to put a song out with Scotty ATL. Apparently, it was recorded like a while back, but I like working on like the graphic parts of things too. Like that's kind of how I got into it. Is like logo designs, album cover designs, that type of thing. Because I don't know. I feel like a lot of people, like a lot of artists, like they, whenever. Like, you asked me earlier, it was like whenever you get into things, like what's your mood, what do you do, how do you work? Anytime somebody approaches me with something, I treat it like a study. You know what I mean? Like if you want me to do a cover or something like that for you, send me the song. Tell me what you see, what you envision. Right. Let me vibe off of that because some people will just be like, I don't care what it looks like. Just put it up. Just put it up. Like
Time's Roman. Gloss
exactly.
Effect.
Like I did a cover for Sundress by Smooth Sinatra and Nino Augustine. Ree was on it as well, and I remember I was sitting there talking to my friend. I was like, "Yo, let me use that picture. Let me use that picture," because like I feel like if I don't do the photo, I like to know the person that did the photo, so it's like it's ours. You know what I mean?
So it's right in that same energy.
Exactly. And so we did Sundress, and I just felt like Sundress needed to have a very like summertime vibe and. We ended up using, like, a picture of a palm tree, and, like, we threw the, like, typography and stuff like that on it, and I loved it. I felt like it matched the song. Right. And they were all happy with it, and that's, as long as you're happy, because here's the thing, if I do something, you don't like it, tell me you don't like it. Tell me what you don't like.
Absolutely.
So we can fix it. Don't just be nice.
Yeah, otherwise, the project isn't going to be its best potential that it could be.
Exactly. So, yeah, that's where we are.
So, seeing as you are such a passionate, because you really are really passionate about
I
this.
do love it.
Do you ever receive flack from people for being white in the hip hop culture? And
I did once, but here's my thing behind that whole thing. Hip hop is a genre, and like
it's more than that, it's a culture.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely, it's a culture, but at the same time, like, it's all love. Like, I'm not out here like I am who I am, and I'm not ashamed of who I am.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't pick to be born in this type of skin tone. Like, I don't care about me being white. My friends don't care about me being white. I don't care what color anybody is. We're all humans. We're all the same. Like, I'm in here because I'm passionate about this. And if I wasn't passionate, like, I wouldn't be here. But I got like some nasty little message on like my Tumblr once, and it just like pissed me off. And I was just like, I thought about it for a second. I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, if people are gonna be nasty sometimes. You can't help it. It's what it is.
That's like the worst place to receive.
Then it's anonymous, so it's like, okay, I don't know who you are, you little asshole. Like, I know you're out there watching my shit, but
I know you reblogged it.
Exactly. I know you reposted it, but I'm not out here for that. I mean, I kind of stay, like, I'm in the scene, but I kind of stay behind the scenes. I don't worry about any of that.
Would you want to be more forefront in the fashion and or music scene?
I mean, yes and no. I feel like it's a bittersweet thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
an understatement.
It's kind of like, I mean, I'll sit around and talk to people that I know, and it's like, dude, if you really make it, like, what the fuck is gonna happen? Like, it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
you're gonna be an asshole.
People are gonna
rich
be
one too.
Exactly, and like, you're gonna be all in like the public eye and all kinds of stuff like that, and that's not necessarily something I want, because I feel like at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who you are, how famous you are. Like, you're still a human being.
Yeah.
And there's still
getting
privacy
cheated on, Beyonce. So.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I don't know, it's like that dude from Linkin Park that died. Like, my whole thing behind that is like, dude, that's really sad and it sucks that it did, but like, y'all stop posting it. Like, his family's reading this type of stuff. You know what I mean? Just not let it go.
Well.
But just be easy.
Don't exploit it.
Exactly. And so I feel like that exploitation is like my biggest fear, because especially in Atlanta. Atlanta's small.
Oh yeah, Atlanta's small. And it's one of those things where, with the whole boom of it being like the hot place to be at, it's a lot of increasingly vapid people. Cause like I was I don't go out often anymore, but I think I was in was it T.I.'s or Frank Ski's joint or whatever. And most of the people there, well, most of the places when you go out, it's people in front of their phones.
Yeah.
Trying to make it look like they're having a good time when they're not doing anything.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. That's why we have phones.
Yeah. Well, no, we do it to talk, but most people don't even talk on goddamn phones.
Oh no, touche.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like, here's the thing: is we'll see what happens. But in order of like exploitation and making it, everybody wants to make it. But I want everybody to realize that. I mean, I'm still a human being too. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want
feelings. Shit.
Yeah, I don't want my personal information or like my family type stuff or anything like going into this. So it's like, that's where I'm like. It's kind of like I want my seat on the bus, but I don't know if I want everybody to know my seat, like who I am. You know what I mean? Right. So like, it's kind of better that way. Yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to be in videos. I'm not trying to be a vixen or anything. All
on
like
the records.
Yeah,
all in the videos.
Exactly. Like, I'm not trying to do all that. Like, if you want me to and you ask me to, that's cool. But if not, I'm not like, I got my ticket. Let me be in everything. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. But I think we're. I mean, you never know what's going to happen, but I feel like I still have a little bit more building to do with that. And that's where, I don't know, reaching out and working with different artists and different people, it's learning what I can do and what I can't do, and what stresses me out and what doesn't stress me out, and, like, just feeling things. But I feel like between, like, Reject Society and, like, Soul God, like, those are two big platforms that I've gotten on, and I'm very proud of, and I'm glad we've worked as hard as we've worked and like done as much as we've done, because at the end of the day, you never know who's looking, you never know who's watching. Like,
I don't know, you a good marketer. You just said their names like at least 10 times. So.
I mean, yeah, but I feel like all of my work is my work, but they've both helped tremendously,
contributed to it.
And it's not just like a, hey, I need you to do this. Like, there's genuine friendships there, there's genuine love there. Like, same with Nino. Like, it's all organic. It's hard to just throw somebody in a room unless it's like contracts and stuff saying, okay, I need you to do this, da 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 da. Whereas these people, it's like, they know what I like and I know what they like, and it's like I don't have to think twice to be like, no, Rhea's not gonna like that. No, like,
right. It's not a lot of back and forth.
Exactly, and that's what makes it easy. I mean, it can still be difficult, but it's that trust that's there.
Yeah, it's difficult. That's working towards something better in those instances.
Absolutely.
So what do you feel like you can't do then?
I'm not a photographer. I've done photography, but I feel like a lot of people think I'm a photographer. I'm not a photographer. Can't sing. I don't make beats. I don't know. What can I do? I'll tell you what I don't know, but I want to learn video production.
Yeah?
Like how to like put together music videos and stuff like that. I feel like that would be really cool, because there was this guy that like he kind of reached out to me, and he said if he came up to Atlanta, like we would collab and stuff like that. And like his video, like he takes like pins and stuff like that and like does like handwriting all through his videos. And I think that's really cool. So
yeah. Sounds tedious as fuck.
I imagine so. But at the same time, I've never done it.
True.
So I want to learn it, because I feel like that's what I'm doing right now. Is I'm trying to just be creative and dabble into everything. And you know, I am a jack or like a Jane Doe of all trades. And I've always kind of heard criticism where it's like, you know, if you're a jack of all trades, it's hard for you to be good at one thing.
Not really, because I'm the same way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, like, I feel like that's bittersweet, because it's like every time I touch into something and I start something, I like obsess over it. Like, I fall in love with it. And it's like, it was kind of like the screen printing, because like people love the printmaking and I like it too. But I've done it so much that I want to learn other things. Like, you know, I know how to dye out a shirt. I know how to, like, print on a shirt. I know, you know, I don't have an embroidery machine, but I can figure out how to make that work, da-da-da-da. But it's kind of like I haven't worked or done anything with videos. So learning how to do that, if I could do that too, it's like the whole package. Like, what do you need?
By the way, if you need somebody to rate treatments for those videos whenever you start doing it, just let me know.
I got you. We'll figure it out. We'll work on it.
Just throwing it out there. If you don't like it, you can throw it back.
We'll work on it. But I don't know. It's cool. It's just, that's why I said, it's like art school fucked me up. I was like, damn, I can do everything.
I can do this too.
Exactly.
Shit.
Exactly.
See, I didn't even go to art school. Like, I'm not trained in anything, but I just put myself out there. And if I like it, I like it. And if not,
see, I think that's where school was good for me, because it gave me the platform to put myself out there. Not that I wasn't capable, but I feel like it kind of gave me the confidence, and it was like, all right, we're going to show you how to do this, but you can do what you want with this. And so, I mean, I was going to apply for the graphic design program, but I didn't take the typography. But I know type. Like, I wasn't about to, like, wait another semester. Yeah. Exactly. And so, like, it was really cool, because all of my friends ended up getting into the program, and it's a very tedious, hard program, and, like, I commend all those people. But it was really neat that, like, I wasn't in the program, but these people supported everything I did. Like, right. And it was like, I didn't even have to be in the class, but they're always like, dude, she's doing something crazy. What is she doing? Blah, 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 blah. And it's all love. Like, everybody's, like, reaching out to help you and teach you things and, like, push you farther. And I feel like people that I met under those circumstances, those essentially are some of my biggest competition. You know what I mean? Like, but we all just want everybody to do better. Yeah,
to come up together and all be successful.
Exactly.
You're lonely at the top.
Exactly. And I think that's the biggest thing about being in the creative scene in Atlanta is it's not so much competition, like it's pushing each other.
So do you feel like there's you don't feel like there's an oversaturation in like the type of demo in the urban fashion? Especially on an independent level.
I think it just kind of depends. I feel like there's some people that will come up with brands and stuff like that, and like, I don't know, like that's cool, but it depends on taste. Excuse me, taste. Okay. What you might like, I might not like, and what I like, you might not like. You know what I mean? We can find a middle ground, but that goes back to your audience.
Right. It's all subjective.
Exactly.
At a certain point.
Exactly.
So let me ask you this, because the art part of it is so dope. Do you feel like you can handle the business part on your own, or you feel like eventually you're gonna need like a business partner to come in to go maybe meet with investors or VCs and things like that down the road?
I mean, down the road, yeah. Down the road, absolutely. Not even down the road. Right now, I need a personal assistant because, like, just, like, when it comes to, like, upkeeping social media and reposting things.
Shit, me too.
I'm just like,
I feel like I got more jobs than a Jamaican.
Exactly, and it's just so stupid because it's just, like, using social media. But a personal assistant, absolutely. But on down the road, yeah. Well, I mean... And I feel like I'm also in a position where I'm not trying to put necessarily all of my eggs in one basket with certain people.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still putting a little egg here, a little egg there. We'll see what happens. What do you have to... You know what I mean? Like.
So have there been any, like, super bad, like, experiences where you may have put one of those eggs in and it just completely dropped it and it shattered? I was trying to stick with the metaphor on that.
No, you're good. You're good. Nothing. I feel like nothing crazy. Like, there's been some personal letdowns where it's like, dang, like, you know, like, especially, I don't know, there's been situations where girls have went and they think, like, just because their boyfriends or whatever have booked me, crazy stuff's going on. I'm just like, nah, dude, that's not what I'm doing. I'm just here to work. Like, this is like a job for me.
He's like, no, boo-boo.
I don't want your man. I don't want any of that. Like, I'm just here because he's helping me and vice versa. Yeah. Like, nothing more, nothing less. But other than that, it's...
I'm sure
if I've gotten negative feedback, I don't really know about it.
Oh,
and I feel like I'm kind of okay with that because my mom always taught me if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all.
Exactly.
And, like, I'll do art shows, people come up to my table. Not saying everybody that comes up to my table wants to buy stuff, but there's been people that just kind of browse and keep it walking. And then, like, they're talking to the next person just like, oh, my God, da-da-da-da. But it's a taste. Not everybody likes sushi.
Right.
Not everybody likes, I don't know.
Not everybody likes a Picasso or a Rembrandt.
Exactly. There's just so many things. And I think that's what it dabbles down to is you like what you like. You know, not everybody likes tie-dye. Not my bad. Like, the other night I had an event and this guy, like, low-key I felt like kind of mad that I didn't have any black hats.
Word, you can't have black.
He was like, they're all for girls. And I was like, if you look at Pantone's colors of the summer, my dear, these colors are on there. Like, you know, where, like, I didn't get into that. But I told my friend, I was like, dude, you got so pissed I didn't have black hats. And I was like, because that was kind of our thing was we were like, no black. Like, let's just try and push, like, summer, all pastels, blah, 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 no black, and see what happens. And this man was like, you don't have black hats. These are all for girls. And I'm just like, well, if you put one on, I'm not gonna say anything. Like,
I just think that was very homophobic.
He was wearing all black too. Like, he got real pissed at me. I was like, dude, I'm sorry.
Maybe that's just his thing.
But people like black. I like all black. But at the same time, it was just kind of like a test to see how people reciprocated.
Well, you got a reaction out of that motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly. Touche.
So do you So you say, like, girls and all that would be, like, coming at you. Do you ever get, like, dudes who want to act like they're doing business, but they're really just trying to holler at you?
All the time.
All the time?
All the time.
Damn, that sucks.
I mean, it's more so, like, it just kind of gets annoying. Like... Yeah. Because I keep all my situations to myself. Mm-hmm. I just...
Keep it very low-key.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I feel like you have to stay low-key. Like, it's no... I mean, I'm not out doing anything wrong, but, like... Just because I work with you.
Come on now, you may do some kind of wrong.
Nah, but just because I work with you or I'm talking with you does not mean it's gonna go past a certain level. Because I'm here to keep this professional. Right.
You just having a meeting, dude starts to lean in on you and a kiss
like,
whoa,
what?
Later?
I'm like, I got plans. Like, this is I'm only with you from 4 to 5. You know what I mean? Like,
right. Time is money.
Yeah, but I feel like that's also just like a female thing. Is like.
Yeah,
it's
not wrong about that one.
It's out there, and it is what it is, and it's just all in how I reciprocate it. Because here's my thing: you can hit on me all you want, but if I'm not into it, I'm not gonna be a bitch. But like, catch a hint, dude. You know what I mean?
I think you're asking a lot out of guys to say catch a hint.
I mean,
we don't really have what
but here's my thing: I give it to you. I give it to you for trying.
Yeah.
I commend you for trying. Good job.
That's true.
I mean, hey, you don't know till you come up to bat, but at the end of the day, it's just like, nah, dude, if you go down that route with me, it's not always going to end well, and...
Wait, right?
I mean, I'm grown. You know what I mean? Like, I'm older now.
Uh-huh. But what do you mean by not end well?
I mean, you never know. It doesn't mean we're gonna like fall in love and get married and it's gonna be well in the world.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it also goes back to like, I mean, I've always had more guy friends than girlfriends.
Right.
Like, girls are cool, but like, I don't know. I guess it goes back to me kind of being a little tomboy or whatever. Like, I just get along better with guys, and a lot of times that's miscommunicated, and I don't mean it to be like that, but like.
It's probably not your fault. Most men are idiots.
I mean, I guess so. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna jump on that bandwagon, but it's just.
Look, I've been a guy for a long time.
Have
As long
you?
as I can remember.
As long as
I'm pretty sure most of us are idiots.
But yeah, there's people are always kind of like looking out and going down that route, and I'm out here trying to worry about myself right now.
Right.
You know, like I'm trying to get like back out of my parents' house. Like I have too much going on to worry about that, because every day it's like a new due date. Because you know, like it's been a couple months since like I've even been able to get out here, because it's like my schedule's so inconsistent.
Right.
So it's like once I finally have the time, like I'll do it. Like I'll get there. So it's like I don't know. Like I got too much going on to worry about any of that right now.
Exactly. To deal with somebody
and
else's bullshit.
I think that's where it's like it kind of gets annoying when guys are like, "Oh, what's up?" Like not like just my mind's not there.
It's like, no, dude, I'm not in the moment right now.
Exactly. Like no, we've got money to make. We've got moves to make. We've got things to blow up. Like we've got. I ain't worried about that, because at the end of the day, if all is gonna work, I'll come back. You know what I mean? Like I'll be there. We'll figure it out.
You're not forgetting them. You're just putting them on the back burner.
Exactly.
Right now.
Exactly.
Exactly. I get it. So that way you're not just holding yourself down. Same boat. I got you.
Absolutely.
So let's lighten it up a little bit. So who are your top 5 dead or alive rappers?
Ooh. Okay. In no order, but. This might count.
I feel like that's a cop out.
Definitely, no, there is no cop out.
All right,
definitely Outkast. Like
okay,
that AC Alien. Yeah, I mean, I was young when that album came out, but like
they did win a Grammy. Okay.
Yeah, no, absolutely. South's got something to say. So like Andre Big Boy, there's always love there. You can never go wrong with that. And being from Atlanta.
Have you heard Big Boy's new album?
I've heard bits and pieces of it. I've been really busy. I like people make fun of me. They're like, I can't believe you haven't heard that. I'm like, dude, that BMW is cool, but like I still have to still burn CDs. Yeah. Like I haven't had time to do that yet.
Damn, okay.
You know what I mean? Like y'all bear with me. But Kendrick Lamar, that Good Kid, Mad City. That's probably one of my most favorite albums ever. Ooh, what else is on the list?
Just the mixing in it, like what's the song? Will Sing About Me, where he's like each verse is a different person. Love it.
Yeah, no, and Kendrick's unstoppable.
Even Section 80 was a fantastic mixtape.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. And like I mean, I got to see him like after he had like put all that out, and like I don't know, he came out with like, I'll even put A$AP Rocky on that list because he's dabbling in the fashion, and I feel like he's
A$AP is dope.
Yeah.
A$AP is probably one of my favorite underrated rappers.
Absolutely,
out right now.
Absolutely, and you know he went into hiding after like Yams and all that, like, but I get it, I understand,
R.I.P.
and people like hate on him because he's like, I want to do fashion, like, you know what, they took over the little hip hop industry in New York for a minute, like, you know what I mean, that was all theirs, but still nobody has touched that, nobody's went down that, and it's like, now you want to pop up and do fashion, take it over, Rocky, call me, where you at, let's work, like, so A$AP Rocky's definitely on the list. Who else, I don't know, I hate questions like this because it's so hard. It's so hard to just dabble down to one.
That's why I love it, because you can argue the shit out of it.
No, touche. I don't know. I feel like it's easier to just tell you what I've been listening to recently. I feel like definitely not one of the greatest, but like I'm always going to have mad love for Post. Like, I don't know. Post Malone? Yeah. No,
really?
I feel like, I don't know, because I just commend the kid for like being like, not even like 20 years old, blowing up on SoundCloud like overnight, and like
Dallas of all places.
Yeah, and just like
I've
just
been
kind of
there
owning
recently.
it. Like
Ain't
I know
shit there.
I feel like he's on some like weird shit now, which
Is
I mean I don't know. I just feel like he might be, but like I don't know. Just for things to, because I feel like the music industry is so not flawed, but it's so hard to get your foot in the door.
Especially now more than ever.
Exactly. So it's like for you to like come up on SoundCloud and like pop off.
Yeah, because that's a thing now. Like a SoundCloud rapper is a thing.
Exactly. Because it's like we sit out and like I research all this kind of stuff, like, you know, like working with these artists, because like I manage some of them too. You know what I mean? It's like trying to get on events and stuff. Oh. Yeah, I know. But it's like trying to figure out the key. it's a hard key. You know what I mean? It's hard. There is no key there.
No, because everybody, there's no one way to go about breaking an artist. So
No, absolutely not.
What might work for them definitely won't work for somebody else.
Yeah.
Or going the actual studio, major label route and all that wouldn't work for this kind of artist.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I mean, like I said, he's not like
Chance. Like Chance is one of those kind of
yeah,
people.
no, absolutely, exactly. That's a good one. I didn't even think about him.
You can't add him on there because I named that one, so you got.
You have to come up with your own now. I don't know. Oh, I don't know. What do I have on here?
I know you got all new people too. I'm like, you can do Dead or Alive.
I mean, I know. I just like, it's just thinking. It's like I know it, but like, I don't know. I feel like the list is just so long. The list never ends. Like, I'm not gonna say 2 Chainz my favorite artist right now, but like, that Pretty Girls Love Trap Music. Like, I love that album.
It's a dope project.
You know what I mean? So it's like, it's every time you pick one artist, somebody else comes in and it's just like,
better.
Forgot about me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
because you totally did not mention Wu-Tang Clan at all.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to sound lame, but like, that wasn't something I ever really dabbled in. Like, I respect him as an artist. I'm a little bit younger though.
So you're saying you're not a 90s New York hip-hop fan?
No, I'm not.
All right, well, this has been Unapologetically Candid.
All right, your time here is up. I don't know. New York rappers, I've always kind of stuck with the South. That's always been my thing.
Yeah?
Like, I mean, mad love for, like, Biggie and all that. Like, I love Young M.A. I love her. I got mad love for her. I don't know why, but, like...
She totally fucked up the name Stephanie for people, but...
But, like, it's just... I don't know.
But even,
I like all types of music, but I love the South. There's no love, there's no feeling, there's nothing like Southern hip hop.
True, but even like the New York rappers now, they sound like artists from the South. Like
yeah, because everybody's trying to jump on this wave.
What's that guy who can't speak properly? Designer. I didn't know he was from fucking Brooklyn until like way after this.
Somebody, I don't know if this is true or false. Somebody told me that like Flavor Flav was his dad. I don't know if that's true or false.
No, it's not, but I can see that.
Okay, I was just like, that's so trash. I mean, I didn't sit around and Google it. But I was like, there's no way. But yeah, no, it was kind of like when he popped off with that, like,
the Panda joint?
Yeah, no, that shit was fire. That shit was fire.
Yeah?
Like, I did a print. I think I even have it on. I did, like, one of the dopest little art pieces of him. And it, like, ripped off the front of Kanye's, Pablo album because somebody went through and like just redid the graphics on it and put broads in Atlanta instead of like
Life of Pablo.
And so I went and like kind of creeped back in, threw designer in it and like ran it out and like ran it with like orange and blue and like a bunch of gold and stuff like that, and like I got a bunch of hits on it whenever the song came out because I think when it comes to like the printmaking and the gold and stuff, I try and, like, keep up with, like, what's in, like, what's poppin', like, who's listening to what artists, like, you know, if I was to do it right now, Jay-Z would be a very prime artist for me to work with, like, work off of his stuff from his album.
Oh, no, that's not all. Oh, you mean, like, lyrics-wise?
Yeah,
like
creating art, like, creating art from it.
Okay.
So, like, that's one thing where I feel like I kind of get hit kind of hard is, like, I'm not necessarily trying to do, like, fan work.
Gotcha.
Like fan art?
Yeah, you're not trying to put it on DeviantArt or anything.
No. Like, I'm not trying to do, like, I don't know. I'm not trying to, let's say we're not trying to forever do fan art. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, that's kind of what I like.
Right. You like.
Because I like the responses to see what people are going to see, what people are going to do. Like, I don't know. I'll tell you, another one on my list I feel like is probably Freddie Gibbs. Like, I went to his show.
Very underrated artist.
Dude, I love Gibbs.
Yeah.
I fuck with Gibbs hard. I went to his show a couple months back, and, like, I hit up his merch studio. I was like, yo, dude, I've done work for, like, you know, I bleached stuff out for, like, different artists. I was like, is there any way I can do a couple shirts for y'all? And he was like, yeah, dude. So, like, I actually just sent some, like, my Freddie Gibbs pieces and the shirts that I dyed out for him back to him.
Oh, that's what's up.
So, I mean...
Yeah, but you're doing it for the artists that you actually appreciate.
Exactly. That's my thing. Is like I like to work with art. Like I like to do things. I do what I like. Mm-hmm. I mean, I can do what you like, but I like it better when I do what I like. Obviously, you know what I mean.
Right.
So.
That's a pretty eclectic top 5. Very current and new.
Yeah.
Definitely different from mine.
I mean, well, what's yours?
I'm gonna do mine in order because I'm not like you. I actually know.
Yeah,
I don't care about hurting feelings. All right, Biggie.
Okay.
Hove.
Okay.
Pun.
Okay.
Eminem.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna have to go Wu-Tang, and if you can't do groups, then DMX.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. What'd you say? Really?
Not
about
really,
with
but
DMX?
like I just like I don't know, dude. I saw a video of him on like Instagram the other night, and I was like, oh my god, I forgot. Not like being rude, but I forgot he exists. You know what I mean? I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, not DMX now. I mean, like in the height of him doing crack.
No, absolutely.
DMX.
I feel you.
Like
absolutely.
2 albums a year, DMX.
Absolutely. I feel you there. I think like I don't know. That's where people like. It's so hard to pick a top 5. It's so hard to pick a favorite.
Because then you forget groups like Cypress Hill, or shit. You just keep going on and on and on.
I mean, yeah, it's just.
You can bring up like Wayne. Wayne was dope.
Listen,
pre jail Wayne was dope.
I liked Wayne up until and then after he started coming out with like the Carter. Then like after he got on this like after he did that like rock star and he turned into a skateboarder and all that kind of stuff,
yeah.
I just kind of like fell off that wave. I think he is great, but am I a big fan? Not really. But then again, it goes back to like the guy I work with, Bree. He's from New Orleans, and like I hear like when he spits, like I can totally hear that New Orleans Lil Wayne like southern twang in his voice. And I feel like if it wasn't for Lil Wayne, not if it wasn't, but like after hearing Lil Wayne and listening and understanding, that's how I hear it in Ree's voice. Not saying he's trying to sound like him by any means, but it's just it goes back to the culture, like being from the South and like
especially New Orleans.
Yeah, no.
Sometimes they come up and talk to you, you don't know what the fuck they say. I know I got family from there.
Yeah, for real.
No, but probably like Wayne's like last great album to me was Carter 3.
Okay.
Yeah. Then after that, it just was.
I mean, it was a little dabble in whatever you want to dabble. I mean, here's one thing: is he's made it.
Oh yeah,
he's
he
definitely
rich.
put his imprint. Exactly.
You think Lil Wayne is somewhere like, I wonder what these niggas on SoundCloud is talking to me about.
Exactly. Like he is not worried about that by any means. By any means. But I feel like that's how a lot of artists are now.
Yeah, it should.
I mean, you know, you were asking me earlier when you were like, how is it hard, or like, what's it like to try and top something you've done really well? That's the same with like the music industry. Like if you put out an album that gets a 9 out of 9, I feel like that's, or even like a 10 out of 10, like that's a good review. So it's like, how do you upkeep your next one?
Yeah, it's all about progression and.
But I think it's also like progression, and that's where due dates become bittersweet, because whenever you get a due date, sometimes at the end of it, you're just gonna get what you're gonna get. That's why I don't like.
Sometimes you're gonna get a reference track on a Kanye album.
Exactly. But you just, it's a work in progress. Because if you just get in there because you got to be in the studio, whether it's doing art or music or anything like that, but you have to be in there. Somebody's saying you got to be in here. You're not always gonna get the best work.
No, absolutely.
It's all on your own time.
Yeah, like me personally, I don't ever write anymore where I like just sit down and be like, I have to write like 5 pages.
Yeah.
Like if it'll come, it'll come. Sometimes I'll be driving and it's super dangerous while I'm trying to write down the notes.
But you got to get it down.
Yeah.
You got to get it out. Because if you don't get it out, it's
I'm gonna forget it.
Exactly. You gotta. It's like in the moment. It's absolutely, because like I was planning. Like I said, I'm working on a website right now, and like I was just sitting there thinking, I was like, oh, what if we did like, this might sound kind of corny, but I was like, calendars. What if we did calendars? Because like you just use images and stuff like that. And not saying that's gonna bite. Yeah. But it's just like you got to write it down, or else you're gonna forget it.
Right. And then you can go back and then revisit it.
And then just be like, no, this won't work.
Yeah.
But if you're not taking note, what are you taking?
Exactly. If you're not, because you're actually striving to put a product out, as opposed to a lot of people who will sit and talk around and be like, man, I want to do this and I want to do this, but then old episodes of Seinfeld is on repeat right now, so they'll do it later. So as long as you do it, whether it's good or not, you're doing a lot more than what most people are out here.
Dude, half the battle of anything is doing it.
Yeah, and no one's half the battle.
Yeah. It's like half the battle I felt like in school was getting up and going. But once I was on the way, I was straight.
Nah, being in there.
Oh, yeah, no, but I had, the battle was like, oh, getting out of bed before 9 a.m. Like, oh my God. Like, you know what I mean? But I knew if I was on the way, I was going to have a good day. I was going to make the best out of it.
That's what's up.
So,
that's the way to take everything. You just make the best out of everything.
Yeah, no, that's why we're here. You know what I mean? Just as I feel like as human beings, it's just trial and error. Like, I didn't know a year ago I would be sitting in the studio. I didn't know 2
I ain't know
years
that
ago.
shit either, I'm gonna be honest
Exactly.
with you.
I mean, you never know when where the wind's gonna take you, and I feel like it's taking a risk. And if you don't take risk, where are you taking in life?
Yeah, because you're not really living your life.
Exactly.
Yeah, I couldn't do that. I could not be in a cubicle somewhere talking about some PC low blooders and all that.
No, no. And I feel like that's kind of like why I'm still with Starbucks, because I feel like somebody's out there looking for me.
Yeah. Oh, let me ask you this one then.
What's up?
Please tell me that you already have how you're gonna quit your mundane job for once you can able to financially support yourself with your business.
How I'm gonna quit?
I got mine. I'm causing at least $13 worth of damage on my way out.
13?
Yeah, I'm knocking over
what's
papers.
What's worth $13?
Pens,
No,
all kinds of shit
that's
is gonna be
funny.
tossed over.
A friend of mine sent me actually because I was complaining that I was like, I don't want to go to work, and he was he sent me some video. He's like, how to quit your job. I don't know. I'm not malicious. I don't know. Of course, in my head, I'm like, oh, I just want to chunk a drink across the room. You know what I mean? Duh, who doesn't want to do that?
Although that would be a good World Star video.
Exactly. Then, somebody put me on World Star, please. That's all I needed. Give me
They have you in portrait mode in that landscape.
You're fired, unemployment, and World Star. Bye, y'all. Bye, y'all. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I get a little grumpy at work, and it could be my last day because I've been doing it a very long time.
Damn,
but
you work at a coffee shop too. You know you've been working there too long.
Yeah, yo, dude, I don't even want to talk about how long I've been there. It's been freaking crazy.
Right,
I used to be a manager, all that kind of stuff, and I just dropped down with school because it was just too much. It was I can be in here closing down the shop until 11 o'clock at night, but this is not what I'm passionate about. It's easy.
Yeah.
I know how to do it.
Yeah.
It's easy bread. Does it get frustrating, annoying? Yeah, just like any other job. But right now I'm in a good spot where I can work on what I need to work on, and I'm also in a good position where it's if I need certain nights off or this out, I can finesse my way out of it to take care of what I need to take care of. You know, because you never know what's gonna pop up next week. Hey, we got a show on Thursday night. Let me know. I'm like, all right, y'all, this is what I gotta do. This is where I'm at. Can't be here.
I ain't slugging no damn coffee.
I ain't making no little frappuccinos tonight.
All right. So tell the people where they can find you at.
You can find me at lacy.j, lacy.j on Instagram. I also have a website created by lacyj.com. I have a contact there if anybody's interested on any type of graphic design work, album cover work, logo work, t-shirts. I can do it all.
Be all in the videos, all on the records.
Video. Yeah, no, I'll let y'all know when my album comes out. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah,
Mixtape dropping soon.
Instagram's probably the easiest way though, because everybody's on Instagram all the time. So.
Yeah. Well, not me anymore.
Really?
That's a lie. I'm on it, but I don't post on it.
I feel you.
Yeah.
I feel you. No, I feel like I kind of I usust to post. I post a lot, but I feel like I used to post a lot more. But now I'm just creeping behind the scenes, what the hell are y'all up to today? What are y'all doing?
What is this?
Yeah, but Instagram, my website, those are the two easiest ways. I have Snapchat and Twitter and all that cute stuff too, but I keep that not personal, but I can't be friends with all y'all on Snapchat.
Yeah. Also dick pics, so
right.
Nobody wants that.
Nobody wants that. I'm not giving them or receiving them, but nobody wants that.
All right, so this has been Unapologetically Candid. You can find us at SoundCloud.com/Unapologetically Candid and Instagram and Facebook Unapologetically Candid. And we out.
Thank you, y'all.
We out.
Thank you, y'all.
We out.
Thank you, y'all.
We out.
Thank you, y'all.